Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Boys Book Club. So happy to be back. I'm joined with my co-hosts Z-Swag, T-Dawg, and none other than we're back for chapter 2. We couldn't get enough and we're super excited to just jump back in. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a long 2 weeks since I've read the first chapter of this book, so I am excited to see exactly what she's about to get up to.
I'm starving.
I've been thinking about this book.
Yeah. You're in for some more.
Oh, yeah. And, today I got a personal favorite wine that we're going to be drinking, the Cherry Moscato from Oliver Winery, as well as just another Stella Rosa. So we'll start pouring, and I think it's only right we keep the custom going and spin the wheel and see where it lands.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Is it safe to assume everyone wants a little bit of this cherry Moscato?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Does someone mind doing the wheel spin? And we'll
Careful.
get that going. No, I can't spell in the book. There. Alright. Wherever the feet point then.
Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
Excuse me, I word my minutes. Oh boy.
Wow.
And
Alright.
A two-timer.
We got a crowd favorite here. Alright.
weighted spin here.
Yeah.
Take a sip before you start reading.
Flavors all
Hey,
yours.
cheers everyone.
Cheers.
It's good to be back.
Choose all.
Roast.
Yeah.
I can see why it's a favorite.
Yes.
So, also, I guess real quick before we start reading again, I kind of want to, when it comes to the story, a lot happened, but also I don't think a lot happened, right?
Yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, she hasn't fully applied yet, right? She's just watching this training video,
Mhm.
and, maybe had an orientation.
And the coffee run.
And then
Classic, setting the scene.
she accepted the position. At
At least
the-
she
Okay,
did
she
apply,
accepted,
and then,
that was, okay, you're right,
Because
yeah.
coming up is the hands-on training. So
Alright.
get right into the meat and potatoes.
I gotta say, guys, I'm really happy that I'm the first one to read.
Oh, you're right.
I'm sorry, but I have to take this one. Are we all good?
Let's do it.
Alright, chapter 2. The collection floor needed to be clinically clean. That was the first step covered in training, before even entering the room. Violet underlined the heading in her training binder, adding stars to either side of the bold-faced lettering, in an effort to emphasize the importance in her mind. Collection floor. Clinically clean. You just want to follow the steps. It's really that simple. Keep the workspace clean. It makes it easier for the next tech and keeps the day moving. You don't want to fall behind because someone else didn't call for a cleanup. Because once you're behind, you'll be behind all afternoon. Don't be the tech who throws off someone's whole day. She had arrived that morning with a twist in her guts and what felt like sand coating her tongue. The same sort of nausea-inducing anxiety she'd always suffered from with every new class, new club, new experience. The pressure of being a perfectionist. The unarticulated terror of not being an automatic expert. It would pass, she knew, but that never calmed her jangling nerves or settled her stomach at the time. I gotta say, I wish there was a little more sauce in that first.
We're just getting into it.
You're right.
Yeah, I think after that first chapter, it's kind of hard to keep up. I think CM was most likely trying to capture our attentions, and now we're probably being brought down to earth.
I guess I never considered that she would have to, do the cleaning as well. I wonder if that's going to come into play a little more in the book. If she's going to have, lots to clean up, I guess.
Yeah.
Most of it gets collected.
Right, that's what I was
Seems-
thinking.
Seems like it's pretty straightforward process there.
Yeah.
A good milking technician probably wouldn't
Yeah.
waste a drop. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. When she made the drive to Camber Creek the morning of her first visit to the farm, she'd been too focused on following the unfamiliar directions, turning when the smooth, accented AI said to turn. Now that the route was a bit more familiar, she found herself gazing out of the window as she navigated her way through the picturesque town square with its gazebo and waterfall and expansive green park. Shops and restaurants lined Main Street, bistros and boutiques, and a cultist beside a shop with brightly colored stained glass windows, an interesting-looking bookshop, and a nail salon boasting a promotion on Talon dips.
Talon dips.
This is lots of different creatures. When she stopped at a light, the rich scent of coffee coming from a wide windowed storefront with black awnings and curling white lettering teased at her nose and her stomach growled. Violet had a feeling it would be of a higher quality brew than the 78-cent gas station latte in her cup holder. A daily indulgence that she poured into a floral tumbler so that she appeared to be sipping one of the craft beverages from the chain near her apartment.
Is that a run-on sentence?
The third one.
Yeah.
Better quality and probably a whole lot more expensive. A family of moth people had crossed the street before her as she idled in front of the town's central square the morning of her first scheduled shift. A couple with two small children. As she watched, the roly-poly baby was tossed in the air by a bespectacled mothman, peals of squealing infant laughter meeting her ears through the open window as the flailing bundle was caught. There had been a mothman who lived on her floor in the city for a short time, tall and slender, and strangely attractive with lovely smoke-colored wings and impossibly long fingers. But he'd kept to himself. His giant eyes...
Sorry, yeah.
Wait. Okay. First of all, okay, I get that it's a lot of, like, mythical creatures.
Is this going to be a thing?
Is it starting to feel like Zootopia to you guys, too?
No, like, that was the deep dive of...
But the roly-poly, is this like an adoption situation? Like, with the moth people as their...
I mean...
Or do the roly-polies turn into moths?
I think that is, like, a good question. Because, like...
There's no way that's true. I think roly-polies are just roly.
It's their own thing. Yeah. No, they're different. They're different animals. Yeah. I mean, it is a fantasy book. Maybe. I think it's a creative liberty. Maybe. Roly-poly looks like a baby for a bug.
Or maybe she's calling like a coddled little baby, like roly-poly looking.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think... Here's my thing. I feel like this whole book has been very, like, realistic so far, and they'll kind of drop the line of, like, oh, yeah, the tiefling lady did this, and then, like, oh, the Minotaur wiener did this. But I feel like all of a sudden then it just spent, like, a half page just talking about moth people, like, out of nowhere. Like, that was, like, the most in-depth, like, world building of, like, the moth people look like this, and the moth people, I used to know a moth guy, and like
strangely long fingers.
Right, like I feel like it was just a very strange choice to go really in depth on the moth people. I wonder if that maybe comes up later.
Yeah.
I'd like to continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Are you sure? Okay.
Were you going to say something?
Maybe.
Next time, make sure we're all done.
All right. I'm picking up in the middle of a sentence. But he'd kept to himself, his giant eyes lowering on the rare occasion they passed in the hallway, and she'd never worked up the nerve to speak to him. She'd watched as the couple reached the opposite sidewalk, where they were greeted by a petite goblin, clutching the hand of her own small, green-skinned child. This is a nice place. The thought had come to her unbidden, but the moment it crossed her mind, she had known it was true. This is a nice place, and they wouldn't have a business that wasn't completely on the up and up, operating right out in the open. Everything you need is right here. It's super simple. There's no uniform to buy. The scrubs are in the locker room. You just need to drop them in the laundry cart at the end of each shift, and you can change them throughout the day if you need to. There's nothing you need to buy, nothing you need to bring. Oh, you'll get a water bottle once you start. I keep mine in my locker so I don't forget it. That's really it. You just need to make sure you're following protocol with the clipboards and client labels and leave the rooms in the same condition you found them. Cleaning checks the sprayers every night, so you never have to worry about being out of something. It really is an easy job once you get into the groove of things.
Alright, sorry, right here?
Yeah.
At the end of this? Like starting here?
Yeah.
Okay. There were color-coded spray bottles containing different sanitizers on the wall outside of the collection room doorway. Purple for the breeding bench. Oh man, sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, the breeding bench really got me there. Okay. Okay. Purple for the breeding bench, scented like oranges. Green for the collection floor, with a strong industrial odor. The scent did not linger. The girl assured her, drawing her attention to the mop clipped beside the sprayers. The bench needed to be sprayed down after each client left the room, and the floor given a cursory mop. Apologies. If there were a bigger mess to clean, that bit relied with a conspiratorially cocked eyebrow. She was to punch in the cleaning code into the keypad in the hallway and flip over the red circle on the door before leaving, a signal to the janitorial associate who would respond and a warning for the next technician that the room was not ready for clients.
So there are janitors.
Well, yeah,
So
like,
then, what is she doing?
how bad? What is a room gonna? How dirty does a room get? Is my question. That
Like-
you need a red sign on the door for it.
It's just like giving the equipment like a quick wipe down, and then the janitors get the heavy duty stuff.
I'd have to imagine.
It might just be like polite.
I just feel like you're a bad milking technician if the room's that dirty. But
I think so, yeah.
regardless, crazy. Violet nearly turned the same shade that her name implied. That's a good. Yeah.
Wordplay.
When her brain caught up with what was implied by a bigger mess, before locating the instruction in her binder and drawing a rectangle around the 4-digit code that would call for janitorial aid, how often does that happen? Am I going to need to wear Okay, wait.
Oh, galosh.
Galosh? What's that? Sorry, I'm not familiar.
Like clogs?
It's like
Rain
like
boots?
rain boots. Yeah. Okay.
Am I going to need to wear galoshes? It's not that common of an occurrence, the other woman continued, as if she was able to divine thoughts. What are we divine thoughts?
Like read her mind.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. Is that like an actual term?
Yeah, divination.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. This whole proportion right here is catching me for a loop right now.
Yeah.
Violet had initially thought her to be another human, but the longer she spent trailing after the upbeat employee, the more she understood her assumption was in error. The woman's wide, dark eyes were just that, wide and dark, a solid inky pupil that bled into an iris of the same color, with no white sclera to break up the doll-like effect. She wore the uniform surgical cap over her dark hair, but as the afternoon went on, Violet was able to make out twin protrusions at her hairline, poking against the thin batting of the elastic cap, either horns or antenna, she deduced. It might happen once or twice in these early days, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. The clients get upset if any of their collection is wasted, Oh, every drop on the floor is a drop they're not getting paid for, and you're not going to want to deal with the mess. That's just to say it's a very good incentive to not be slow with the nozzle. She nodded, frantically scribbling notes in the margins of the training binder. She clutched despite the fact that each page featured brightly colored instructions and step-by-step instructions. Oh, illustrations, sorry. She had always been a frantic note-taker in school, missing half the lecture in her haste to write down every single innocuous-sounding detail, and found herself slipping back into the bad habit now. In this strange place, in this strange town, the collection floor needed to be clinically clean. Anything less and the bottles might be compromised, and there was nothing more important sloshing in their old-fashioned wire carriers. Wow. Sorry, man, that section really riveted.
Right,
Yeah, the quote.
yeah. I mean, I picked up this early, but Violet does seem like the type of girl you see in a college class who has 8 different color highlighters, you know, and like she said, barely gets anything done because she's just, you know.
They said the binder, folders, you know, laminated note sheets.
Who uses a binder anymore?
I think they're a good idea, but
Sure.
I can't say I've used one in a while.
Yeah. Okay. Hooking up the machine is the most intimidating part of the process, but it's really easy once you get the hang of it. You just want to make sure you're not cutting any corners now, because when you're slammed in 2 months going from client to client, you'll be running on pure muscle memory, you know. It's important to learn to do things the right way in the beginning. Her throat seemed to seize as she swallowed, nearly choking at the girl's words. How could she think that? The machine? Who cares about the stupid machine? She'd been walked through the laundry facility, shown where the employee locker room was, and where to find extra scrubs. Led through the process of picking up her assigned rooms for the day, and now a tour of the collection rooms themselves. But they'd still not covered the main aspects of the job. And Violet felt the reality of what would be expected of her, sitting in the corner of the room, like some great hulking orange shadow. The paper face mask evidently hid her exasperated expression, and the other woman turned away cheerfully, swinging open the door to the collection floor. A circular work area lay ahead, anchored by the milking apparatus in the center of the room, surrounded by a low bank of coolers and an empty table which would be filled with clipboards when the room was in use. A rack of shiny chrome cylinders rested beside the table. The collection tanks, Violet understood immediately. Old-fashioned glass bottles, the kind she'd seen in roadside country stores, and the most perverse detail of the farm's aesthetic, in her opinion, sat in neat lines on a shelf above an autoclave, where they were to be sterilized before being loaded into the machine.
So I mean, she's all the way in now. Like,
Yeah. But like she said, the main topic at hand is not being addressed yet. I think she just needs to get that hands-on experience.
Personally, it felt kind of weird that the lady showing her around on like the orientation kind of like leads her to this room and turns away like all cheerfully.
Yeah.
Like, do the other employees here kind of like look at it almost like a game?
I imagine there's a decent amount of banter.
well,
But I feel like they're trying to hide that, or at least the authors.
it kind of almost comes across as like a kind of like a hazing type thing, right?
Yeah. Huh.
Like a kind of like, oh yeah, good luck, first time. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because like everyone at Camber Creek has probably had their first time at the like collection floor. So I'd have to imagine it's like this rite of passage for everyone that works there. So
Like a welcome to the league moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, exactly, and it feels a little bit malicious, though. I will say, in the way that the trainee was going about it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do wonder if the author is trying to like tastefully kind of like mask that for now. Like, I'm wondering if that's our first glimpse of it,
Right.
or if maybe we're misreading it.
It could be. It could
I'm
be.
excited to see.
I think there's so much talk about the room being clean and dirty that clearly Violet's in for a mess. All I'm saying, it's about to get messy.
Are you guys imagining a mess of anything other than the sample?
Right? Yeah, like that. Unfortunately, that's the only mess I could think of. Other than
Yeah.
like, what would be scary would be like the Minotaur like losing his marbles and wrecking the room a little bit. But like, I don't think CM would go that route.
Yeah. They have like they said like stocks, like breeding stocks.
Yeah.
So it seems pretty secure, you know. I do feel like the trainee is or the trainer is leaving out some important details that could lead to Violet
agree. We're leaving off from sterilized before being loaded into the machine. Okay. She did her best to pay attention, noting how the autoclave was started, the way the collection tanks were hooked into the milking machine, and how the hoses were connected. Violet supposed the mechanical aspect to the job might, in fact, be intimidating, particularly the speed with which she was expected to execute the setup. But she found herself surreptitiously glancing upwards every few seconds, her eyes finding the hole in the bench above her head every time her training partner turned away. The collection floor sat half a level below the area the clients entered, a short staircase granting the collection associates access to the upper part of the room. The bench, from what she could see of it, reminded her of the 20-minute massage chairs in the center of the mall back home, which self-consciousness had always kept her from patronizing. The bench above her head had a similar design, a padded headrest and armrests, cannily placed braces for the sitter's legs to rest against, and a wide support for the torso. It was tipped forward at a more extreme angle, and the sheer size of the thing gave hint to the tremendous stature of the clients who would be resting there. The main differences were the thick upholstery, cushioning, and, of course, the hole. Placed in the center of the bench's front supports, the opening gave clear access to the technician on the lower level, just before the chrome machinery in the center of the workspace, identical to those used on traditional dairy farms.
So they're using animal-grade equipment on Minotaur. I think the lines between animal, mythological creature, and human are starting to get a little bit blurred here.
Yeah.
That looks good, you said.
Now, I'd say, I guess going off of the cover of the book, it looks like these minotaurs are like standing on 2 feet, or 2 hooves, perhaps.
Right.
And so I'm wondering if that kind of makes them even like larger seeming. Like she's really not joking around with like these breeding stocks and like the upholstery and all that. Like imagine if one of us was like 8 feet tall and jacked.
Yeah. I guess that it is probably crazy. And man, this is guys being guys here.
Yeah.
Would love to know what the sports situation is like in this world. Just gonna be honest. Like, are Minotaurs allowed to be on NBA teams, or is there like different leagues for different races? And
There's weight classes.
Weight classes.
Perhaps like the Paralympics.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We need to cut that.
I just imagine there was other myths.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably like so.
Yeah, I don't know if Paralympics was the right.
Well, yeah. Well, whatever. We'll slice it. But wait. So, okay. Do you think there are other Minotaur leagues? Like, you know what I mean? Like different species leagues.
Also, like moth people.
But like, and to me, that seems like a treasure trove that Nascosta could really dive into and just like explore. But I have to imagine that majority of this book is taking place on Cambridge Creek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be looking forward to seeing where else she leads us.
Maybe she catches a foreign flight.
Foreign flight.
That is exactly
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say maybe we'll
Foreign
see in
flight.
future installments, but
True.
This is a series.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, and then she describes the chair like one of the mall massage chairs, and those things are probably not what I would consider good for extraction.
Yeah.
Vibrating?
well,
You don't
Or
think
just kind of really being locked in like that, and like not being able to move.
Kind of inhibited. Like your stuff. You're just not.
well, she also mentioned that she was self-conscious to go into them. Violet herself seems a little bit freaked out. But I'm wondering if the stimulation of the chair caused her to experience.
It's a different direction than my mind went to.
It's not a bad direction though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
the cherry Moscato talking. I think we should get back in now.
Yeah.
Violet wondered, as her hand reached out to lift one of the milking machine's nozzles, if the Minotaurs would be able to see her below them as she worked, or if she would be completely hidden from view. Her mortification at the thought was thankfully well disguised. She'd been worried that the cow print apron and short-sleeved top worn by the technician in the video was the actual uniform, but reality proved to be much more sterile. The provided nursing scrubs were worn with a surgical cap, an isolation mask that covered the majority of her face, and sterile gloves. She had breathed a sigh of relief as she caught sight of herself in the reflection of the glass wall outside the locker room that morning. Her identity was indecipherable. The circumference of the nozzle in her hand was larger than that of a soda can. Her fingers barely able to stretch around it, her nails not quite meeting as she lifted it for inspection. A silky interior met her fingers, highly textured, medical-grade silicone, filled with bumps and nodules and ridges. Her training partner flipped the chrome-plated switch at the side of the collection unit then, and the machine whirred to life. Violet watched the hydraulic arm begin to move, pistoning up and down, causing the nozzle in her hand to buzz and hum. The percussive thump of the motor seeming to match the sudden pounding of her heart. Once you've got the tanks hooked into place and the client situated, the other girl began, shrugging as Violet looked up. She was able to see the smile in the other woman's eyes, despite the paper mask that covered the majority of her face. You just get to work. It's as easy as flipping a switch. Her hand moved over the opening, fingers pressing into the silky smooth interior once more, catching on the nodules within until she felt the suction of the machine. A rhythmic tightening, inhaling her fingers into the mouth of the nozzle. The light that came from above would be blotted out, she realized, when a hulking body covered the bench above her. The glow from the upper level currently afforded by the hole in the bench, plugged with turgid male flesh, leaving her in shadow.
Wait, is this right now? Like, is this really happening?
I think she's imagining it.
Okay. Alright.
Really?
Sorry.
I think she's touching the equipment and then imagining.
Oh, okay. So I'm like, no way.
Yeah, I think.
So I was also confused to why when the Minotaur's member is in the machine and then their hands are also in that, like,
Yeah.
given with, like,
Yeah.
I thought that the machines were like if necessary.
Yeah.
Okay,
It wasn't like,
that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
All this like talk about the machines now, right? Like only if necessary.
I'll just finish this and then I'll
Yeah,
hand it
yeah.
off to you. The implications of the machine, the pistoning suction, the interior texture and nodules, the size of the cylinder in her hand, the hole in the bench above her head, ... Blood pounded in her ears, the room pitched, and Violet staggered away from the circular work area, gasping for air. Her lungs felt as though they'd been inexplicably deprived as the trainer clicked the machine off. Start right
There. I can't help but whenever they say the word cylinder, I think of that like cylinder meme. I think people probably know it. You know what I'm talking about, like the cylinder meme? And, like the guy he was like on Reddit talking about like he got like a thing stuck in a cylinder.
Oh!
That's like whenever I hear him talk about the cylinder in this, I think of that.
The cylinder is in a ketchup bottle.
Right, yeah, right, exactly. I always think of that. And so, like, that's what they're talking about, the milking machines, and then, like, the cylinder, I can't help but just, like, giggle a little, because I keep thinking of, like, no, it's a cylinder.
No,
It's
it's a cylinder.
Just a cylinder.
But, anyways, alright. I know it's a lot, the other woman called out, once more seeming to discern her thoughts. The cleanup, the machines, the checklists, it's all to remind us that this is a normal job, you know? It's not any different than working at the blood banks or the organ trade in places. Some facilities extract venom from snake people to make medicines. We extract this. It's no different. She's got a point there, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a little different. It's a little
I mean,
different.
they're not cranking off the spiders to get the venom out.
Yeah. I mean, also, I will say, are organ snakes venomous species, regardless?
Yeah.
You know, is organ trade in places a real thing, or is that this? You can't just trade organs in anywhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like at the hospital.
Trade?
That's
not
like post-mortem.
It's not trading. It's just like donations. Yeah.
If you die and you have organ donor on your license,
It's a post-mortem type thing.
then there's a trade-in, I guess.
Trading. Anyways, she straightened, sucking in a long breath, wondering what kind of establishment traded in organs. Red Armides.
okay.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay. Shout out. That was awesome.
Foreshadowing.
Wondering what kind of establishment traded in organs before shaking the unsettling thought away and pushing it back her shoulders. Right. It's definitely not sex work. It's not.
I guess that is trading organs.
Right. Yeah. It's not, technically, said the other woman. Went on, eyeing Violet dubiously. There's a sexual element in it for the clients, obviously, but that's not even true for all of them. Some of them are just here to get paid, but humans have a, let's say, different view of what you call sex work than a lot of us do. There are a lot of species that go through seasonal heats. Did you know that? It's not just being horny. It's a medical handicap. Not everyone has the luxury of having someone at home to help them get through it. Being a heat helper is a real job, you know, and a lucrative one. Seasonal assistance positions, they're called. It's more like home health care, I guess. You'll see soon enough. It's not sexual for us. Not any more than drawing blood is. Do you need to take a breather? No different than drawing blood. You're going to be good at this. Well, no, I'm fine. What's next? The girl eyed her speculatively for a long moment, the foreign appendages on her head twitching beneath the paper cap. Definitely antenna. Her doll-like eyes crinkled as she smiled before nodding. Yep, I think you will be. Come on, let's take 15. You can grab a snack from the vending machines. Then we'll start some rotations, okay? The goal for every client is a plentiful and speedy collection. Violet felt her insides turn to jelly at the thought of seeing the collection process live, in person already, but she squared her shoulders once more, nodding. She could do this. Sounds good to me. I'm ready for it. We're diving deep.
She's getting competitive now?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, she's taking this as a challenge.
Okay. She was, in fact, ready. Oh, she was not. In fact.
Very important.
That was a good catch there. The first client of the day had been a towering minotaur of at least 7 feet, and she gaped at the sight of him. Oops. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Not that kind of gape. Oh. Excuse me. Alright. The first client of the day had been a towering minotaur of at least 7 feet, and she gaped at the sight of him, gazing down from the room's upper level, lazily pumping the erection that jutted from the opening of his pants, grateful for the match he wore. His expression was cocky as he turned to undress fully before straddling the breeding bench, smirking over the side of the antennaed girl's announcement that a trainee would be observing that day. Well, you better train her up right. Give her a good demonstration of the proper technique. His entire body was covered in a spotted, short-haired hide of sable and cream, and his long member bore the same markings Violet saw once he lowered himself to the bench, cock slipping through the opening. The The shafts were interrupted by several thick veins, the markings fading as her eyes traveled up the stiff length, her mouth running dry at his wide mid-shaft swell, ending in a light pink head the size of her fist, the deep slit at its tip already beating with moisture. Okay. This won't take long, he chuckled, groaning with the technician. Oil slicking hands gripped him, slickening his skin in a smooth line. I'm ready to burst as it is. This is 2 days of build-up. I was ready to blow. Oh my gosh. She stepped closer as her training partner began stroking the long cock. Wanting to ensure that she was fully concealed beneath the bench, and wanting a better look, she admitted herself. His balls indeed looked full to bursting, at least to her eyes, as she watched in fascination as his sack tightened as he was pumped. The twinned bulges the skin concealed, raising slightly. Pressure on the head, she read, glancing down to his chart, and sure enough, the technician's hand closed over the Minotaur's cockhead then, pushing back the thick foreskin, her wrist moving in a figure-eight movement as she squeezed. Violet was certain she was blushing at the squelching sound made by the movement, but the Minotaur above didn't seem to mind, letting out a deep bellow. You know that's what I like.
Oh, but yeah, wow,
Oh my god.
you powered through that. That was, I mean, quite the imagery.
I just want to ask, is midshaft swell a common thing?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Must be a Minotaur thing, I guess.
Could be.
It's a thing.
And also, I just want to put this out there. Has Violet not, put two and two together that what works for humans probably works for Minotaurs too?
I mean, it's probably a little different.
But they all got their preferences, just like us. Like, in the chart, it's like, you better pay attention to that tip, boy.
Yeah.
Stroke that thing.
Yeah, I mean, your voice has added I think the picture to me that really just made the whole image come to life, I think. Because, I don't know, along with just the descriptions and the writing, I feel like I could just see Violet literally in that corner, kind of fly on the wall, just watching this Minotaur get milked, Blushing. She said she even made a noise, right? And that's when he bellowed?
Well, I think he made the noise.
Oh, okay.
But
either way.
she did want to get closer and get a better look, she said. So, clearly she's interested.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm chomping at the bit here.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think this was the part you've been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. When his hips began to pump against the upholstery, chasing his release with sharp thrusts, the other girl motioned meaningfully to the chrome-plated milking machine, nodding with a smile when Violet hesitantly reached out to flip the switch. The motor whirred to life, the piston within beginning to move. You want to pay attention to their cues, she said once Violet had leaned in to hear her over the noise of the motor. Once they start bucking, it's best to just turn it on. That way you're ready. In the beginning, you can turn it on as soon as you start, until you're comfortable judging. It's better to be too quick with the nozzle than too late. Amen. I guess that's that.
Wait, is that the end?
Well,
Oh,
just that's right.
Oh, fair enough.
you could say that again. Why did they say why they don't just have the machine going the entire time?
Honestly, it's a creative liberty. I think if this were real, they would have the machine on the whole time.
Yeah. And so, did her partner kind of just give in by using the machine instead of doing everything without it? Or do they have to use the machine?
In my mind, I think it's kind of like if you were let's say a human, and you're going to, what's the word? You're going to see a lady of the night.
Yeah.
You're going there for the physical touch.
Right. It's the connection part.
I think they say it's speedy and plentiful, so it might add to the pleasure there. But you're not going to see a hooker just fuck a pocket pussy. You're trying to get the real thing.
Yeah.
And now that you mention that, I think they did break the ice and just admit that there is a sexual element to it.
I think like that is part of it. I mean, because we didn't even mention there is a whole the heat helpers, helping the animals through heat.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting aspect that I think.
Yeah.
Shoot, maybe there is an inherent sexual element, but I think with the animal species part of this, you can't completely cross out the idea that some of these animals biologically just need to get it off. So interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. Are there any female minotaurs? Do we know?
There has to be.
Well,
Mythologically.
mythologically, I don't
There was
think
just
there are.
one. There was just one. It was a dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like they would be like cows or something.
Yeah,
Heifers.
right.
Like heifers. Yeah,
Is that cows?
like half human, half.
Oh, heifers. I thought you were
Oh,
saying
no.
something
I
else.
said half. I think that's what people
Yeah.
call girl cows. Something
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
heifers. Okay, that's what I was making sure. I was. Okay.
It's like minotaurs. They have the bull half, and the bulls are like a male cow, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think. Yes. So.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we're getting close to the end of the chapter at this point too. Holy cow!
Short chapter.
Yeah, but not to say it was short on content.
Oh,
That's true.
all right. When the antennaed girl passed her hand over the Minotaur's swollen testicles, he jerked hard against the bench, grunting. Get ready, new girl," he groaned out. His hips stuttering when the technician picked up the nozzle, sucking it over his dripping head in a teasing manner. "I'm about to blow, and you don't want to miss a drop." The nozzle made several passes, his pink cock tip disappearing and reappearing, a wet thread of his pre-release clinging obscenely to the lip of the silicone before it was worked over his shaft fully, and then it was all over. The Minotaur arched against the bench, groaning something unintelligible just before he came, shaking against the upholstery and filling the bottle at the base of the collection unit with ropes of light, his hips hitting the bench with a terrifying force over and over, culminating in a grunt of satisfaction as he slumped against the headrest, drained. The milk bottle, Violet noted with a trembling hand, was full. "He's one of the earners," the intended trainer explained after the cocky Minotaur had risen and redressed, wishing her good luck with a wink that sent heat flooding to her cheeks before leaving the room with a jaunty whistle.
So he's an earner. Do they get paid by the ounce?
So they did say that the Minotaurs get upset when there's spillage because that's less money for them. So I assume it's by the ounce.
Yeah, so top earners. Wow. Violet watched her efficiently pull one of the barcodes from the clipboard, neatly affix it to the front of the bottle before the label was scanned. The white-filled bottle placed on a small scale until the digital display flashed. Accepted 24 fluid ounces. 24 fluid ounces, she thought to herself, gasping. She wondered over the puddle size. She wondered over the puddle size 24 ounces would make. What a mess that might be to clean. Foreshadowing, that has to be.
It's coming.
Those are the clients that can account for every drop. Literally. They can pull on their balls and calculate exactly what they'll be making for the day. It's wild. You definitely don't want to be too slow with the nozzle with any of them. Violet nodded, making a mental note, hoping she'd remember to add it to her binders. Burners, be quick with the nozzle. So you need to put the sticky label from his file on the bottle, scan and weigh it. That's how they get paid, the trainer instructed. And then this collection tank and hose get put on the conveyor. You don't have to do the cleaning, thank goodness. You go over the sanitation checklist, I'm going to go grab the next file. We'll probably only have about 15 minutes before the next appointment, so be quick about it. She sprang into action, panicked at the thought of slowing down the schedule, slightly horrified over what she just witnessed, over what she'd be taking part in, and the more than a little curious to watch it happen again. You can do this. Just think about the loft above the garage. What's worse? Squaring her shoulders, Violet double-fisted the cleaning nozzles like a cowboy already knowing the answer to that particular question. That's the end of chapter 2.
Like a cowboy already knowing the answer to the next question.
Yeah, I mean, she is kind of yo-yoing here a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she went from not even knowing what a milking technician could entail to wanting to be the best milking technician out there.
Being mortified and then being competitive.
Yeah.
She's really swinging back and forth.
Yeah. I think
that might hint at what her romantic relationship might end up like. Her yo-yoing. Like you
Yeah.
said.
well, I wouldn't be certain because all this importance is being placed on the actual collection process, and I wouldn't be surprised if there starts to become a little bit of a not full collection thing that starts happening, or maybe I feel like they're. I'm just curious how a relationship starts, and I feel like it all comes down to maybe her messing up and there being a nice bull or minotaur, apologies, and maybe that's what sparks a relationship, or maybe it's something completely out of left field.
Maybe the Minotaur has like really good manners and like accidentally or offers to help her clean up his mess.
Yeah.
And they have like that quirky, bumping into someone on the sidewalk sort of interaction.
I mean, I'll say it right here, right now. What are the chances that the first bull she milks is the one?
I don't think so.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think he's too cocky.
But it's not going to be the top earner. I think it's going to be a different bull all entirely.
Yeah.
But she didn't milk that one.
Oh, you mean the first one she...
Yeah, like the
does,
first
yeah,
time
yeah.
that's her time, like it might
I
be
can
like
see that.
I'm calling episode 3. Here's my prediction: she's gonna have her first time milking, and it's gonna be the Minotaur's first time getting milked, and they're gonna kind of have a little bit of a like moment, and like we'll see what happens from there. But I'm booking it right now. That's my prediction for episode or chapter 3.
I like that.
Yeah.
Could very well happen.
I think that's a good bet.
I gotta say I'm a little upset I didn't get some more juicy pages, but I know that there will be plenty of opportunities in the future.
Plenty of chapters to come. Probably.
I thought those were pretty juicy, considering it's only the second chapter.
I wanted to read it.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
That you will get your chance.
Exactly.
But I think, other than that, is any other closing remarks or?
Did we at least get the name of the next chapter last week?
There are no names, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
chapter
Oh,
3 is the name. But maybe that could be a fun thing we could do at the end of the episodes is after the fact name the chapter, and then that could be the title name.
I like that.
Because let's just say hypothetically for chapter 2, what would be like a title we would call it?
Training under the collection table, perhaps.
Show her the ropes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like show her the ropes. That's good. That is good. I think with that will bring episode 2 of the Boys Book Club to an end, and we will catch you guys next time for chapter 3 of Morning Glory Milk Farm. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time.